What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to episode 24 of the single player Let's Play. So today I actually have a plan on exactly what all I want to have done. So, well, not exactly, but I have an idea of part of it, and that definitely does not include getting blown up by a creeper. There we go. And it was just the middle of the night, so it's definitely a good idea to clear out and avoid that. Oop, hungry skeleton. Oh well. So, what I would like to do is, last episode we set up a lot of mana production here, and this is really cool, and my stone seems to be ready. What I would like to do this episode is use some of it, and basically the way I plan on using it is by setting up a mana pool, or not mana pool, a infusion altar, or I guess a runic altar rather, right over here, and do a few of the little rune recipes. I might actually put it a little closer. I'm not really sure where I want it, to be honest. But I was thinking right over here would be nice and out of the way. And one thing that I did change, we finished up this last episode with the Super Circuit Maker. Tiny pile here is looking pretty good. And we have our redstone transmitter doing just fine. But what I changed was I used a different block here. I used a living wood block on top of the hopper. And so now the redstone wire connector is sending the signal to the block itself here instead. So that definitely helps out some. With just the aesthetic, really, is most of what I'm concerned with. So everything here seems to be working exactly the same, and definitely doing pretty good on properly and efficiently using our coal here. Now, of course, I do plan on automating this some more and doing some slightly better mana production. In fact, my end goal is to figure out some sort of setup to get automated cakes, because I've never done a Kekimuris before. So I'd love to get one done, and I have not really looked into doing it before. So eventually we'll do an automated Kekimuris, or probably just a Kekimuris. There's not really too many others that I'd want to do, except for maybe, I think the Spectrolis is the one. Yeah. I wouldn't mind doing a Spectrolis. Spectrolus. At some point, this one is the one that uses all 16 colors of wool, but you have to use them in order. I wouldn't mind finding a way to automate that at some point, just using like a very large sheep farm and maybe like a handful of chests or drawers with extracting modules on them, and I feel like it could be automated pretty easily, but I have never actually done it, so there's definitely some stuff that I'd like to work on that I don't normally work on when I do the Botania type stuff. So what I can think of, though, definitely that we should want to do is see about getting our runic altar. So let's hop on over here and do that. Why don't we? So let's see, runic altar. This shouldn't be very expensive. In fact, I think I have everything that I need for it, and so that works out pretty nicely. And I keep on forgetting that I don't actually have an auto trashing system for stuff like bows. I've been playing a lot of Forge Serve, even though now it is currently down because I'm having to wait for... There's been some drama with the internet here, basically, is all I can say. I don't have login access for the router, and in order to get it, it seems like I won't be getting it, and that's kind of a pain in the butt, because without router access I can't properly board forward. I was doing it through Windows for a little while, but it stopped working, and it's very unreliable and quite a big pain in the butt. Anytime the internet resets, I have to go and report forward everything, and it's really just a pain in the butt. So I was hoping very greatly that that was going to work out, and that I was going to be able to get the port forwarding done for me, and it fell through. So yeah, I'm probably going to have to move the dedicated server machine over to my mom's house again, where I do have full access to the internet, and I'm hoping that my landlord isn't too mad at me, but at the same time I'm actually kind of ticked at my landlord, so kind of a 50-50 there. I feel like if I'm paying rent, then I should have access to do whatever I need to with the internet, which is not unsafe by any means. But until then, I'm spending $30 on a temporary creeper hosting service for my server until I can get everything else up. So, runic altar. So one of the things that I've been kind of curious about, and I've got to see, I don't know what it was called, There's a new bauble that looks really cool, and I would like to give it a try. I think it's actually just called, here we are, Third Eye. So this uses a rune of earth, so let's do it. Did you use everything? No? So are you emitting redstone then? Because you should not be. We might have more debugging yet to go. Maybe. So taking a look at, let's see, so we need a rune of earth. So we need a mushroom and a block of coal and a piece of stone and a piece of gunpowder and a mana steel, and we're going to need living rock. Let me make sure nothing else in this recipe is going to require infusion. I already have a mana diamond, and I think everything else I should already have short of the Eye of Ender, which I now have, so we should be good. Easy peasy. Oh yeah, I went to get some redstone as well, because I need to debug this. I've got the screwdriver in my backpack still. And we'll take a look. So let me know if the audio is too quiet. You might notice that it has changed. I moved my microphone over kind of further away from me and my keyboard, hoping that the keyboard would be a little bit quieter. I'm sorry about that. The reason my old videos you never heard it is because I always voiceovered, and that was basically the biggest reason why, was because I had this keyboard. But I personally quite like having this normal keyboard, and I like recording live. So I feel like it would be worth keeping, but I'm just kind of concerned that it's a problem. So what I did was I moved my microphone over a few inches, and I've noticed the keyboard's a little quieter, but I'm also a little bit quieter. Not very quiet, but definitely slightly quiet. So let me know if it's so quiet that you cannot hear me. Alright, so it seems as though that was just a bug with the calculating. I can't tell. Because you should now be doing your thing. Weird. Weird, weird, weird. Oh well, this isn't a system that I'm going to be keeping around for too long, so I'm not terribly concerned. Grab my morphing tool. We can go and put away the screwdriver and the debug redstone. I'll just toss that down. And I don't think I have, oops, I don't think I have any baubles equipped. Yeah, cool. Sorry about that. There we go. That gets us our morphing tool. And I'm curious to see, there's a few different baubles in Botania. Some use mana, and I'm just going to call it mana like I always have. And some don't. And I don't know which one this is. We're going to find out. So my third eye is equipped. This looks so cool. This looks like something from Full Metal Alchemist, actually. I'm not sure why, but it really does. So I don't know if this is going to use mana or not. Let's go find out, why don't we? So if I run down here into... Oh, and that reminds me. Did I change the recipes on here? I did. So I changed the EFLN recipes. They were way too cheap before. So if you were wondering my feelings on the recipes, now you know. They were too cheap. I've mind tweaked actually a few recipes because some of them are just ridiculously cheap and some of them are not so bad. It just depends. I'm looking for any sign of this working, and I know what it's supposed to do. I just don't know if it's doing it or if it's going to do it. And I think it was at some point back here. I'll find it. Oh, was that it? No. This is it. Here we go. So there's all this cave where I blew through with the EFLN. Or a few EFLNs. I'm curious to see if this is going to work. Hey, I missed a spot. If I run in here in the dark, I should see any... Am I on peaceful or something? No? Hey, some gold. Sorry, I know it's very dark. There's a reason for that. What I can do is... well, I thought I could do it. Maybe I didn't set up the keybinds for it. IC2, side inventory key is fine. Alt, do right menu. There we go, night vision. Still dark, but bright for you. Okay, I hear a zombie, but I don't see it. So I think this one is one of the baubles that requires mana. That's okay. There's another bauble that I want. There's a few other baubles that I want. So this is basically going to be a baubles and bits kind of episode. In fact, I'll probably call it that. Just on account of the fact that there's a handful of really, really excellent baubles that Botania adds. I wish more mods added baubles. In fact, one of my desires, if someone out there wants to do this, great. If not, I'm kind of considering doing it myself. Please, why isn't this a bauble anymore? It used to be, and I was happy with that. I can't even fly when it's in my offhand. It has to be in my main inventory. If it's in my offhand, I can't even fly. So the angel ring bugs the crud out of me, and I would be more than happy to craft Elpex bat wings from Actually Editions if it was a bauble, but it's not, and I'm so sad. Here, let's see. I think it's wings. Yeah, wing of the bats or wings of the bats. Like, this is a tough recipe, but a reasonable one. Like, this is a worthy upgrade from this just if it was a bauble, but it's not, and that kills me. Oh man, it hurts. So, I don't know. I mean, I think Actually Editions is open source. I've kind of been considering forking it and forcing it to be a bauble because, goodness, I need something that works like a bauble that adds flight because it's just a necessary evil. And I'm sure there's going to be a viewer or two who's going to say, hey, install X mod, it does this. I'm not really crazy on installing one mod that just does one thing. Like, there's a few mods that I'll do it for, but not too many of them. And, like, the sleeping bag is one of the mods that there's just nothing else that does it, and Shadowfax is a very good modder, so that works. So that's just kind of one of those things that somewhat bothers me, but I don't know. I mean, I understand that in 1.10 there's a lot of things that have kind of made the glue that held old mods together fall apart a little bit, but it makes me sad that simple things that should be implementable have not been considered. Like the fact that immersive engineering still does not natively work with they've just recently added the Forge energy conversion system, but I still can't hook up energy conduits to them. And anything from Ender.io will not charge using Elpex Actually Edition's wireless charger. Or not wireless charger, player interface. Just lots of little things like that that they would have worked if this was still 1.7.10, when everything was unified by RF and Baubles. And it seems like ever since Baubles has kind of been on a shifty port because of... it's not a shifty port. Like, everything is fine. Asnor's been working really hard on it, and it works flawlessly from what I can tell. But it definitely seems like a lot of people have been less willing to use it just because it's one more dependency that they have to wait on for updates, which is understandable. It's also one more crack for their mod to fall apart in. Oh, well, I was not anticipating that. I also wasn't anticipating this caving trip. I was really just wanting to show you guys how this thing worked. So I'm going to cut the episode real quick and head back up and back home because I have nothing to get me there very quickly. So yeah, I'll be right back. So I'm just taking a quick nap here. And there we go. So yeah, it seems as though my third eye bauble is one of those which requires mana, and so that's fine. I also just got done sending off a shipment of ores with the auto processing system, which I am so happy with. I'm very, 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 very happy with the system that we have set up here. So that's just something that you should consider. Is that at some point, like, a lot of stuff here may not be permanent, but that's definitely one of the few things that I'm just so incredibly happy with that I think I'll just keep that way. So, I definitely don't know why that was up, but that's not what I was wanting. If I put some of this stuff away, what I want to do now then, I guess, is a, let's see, how much mana stuff do I have? So let me go get some more mana steel. We are at least doing very well right now with mana steel. And what else I can do is take some of our wood. Am I still... I'm sorry, you'll have to forgive me. I really just have a hard time remembering what I do on which worlds. So no, I'm no longer harvesting dark oak. That's fine. I'm not harvesting it on either one of my worlds now. So, we'll save the dark oak. We'll do oak wood. What I want is to just get a lot of charcoal, because it would be worthwhile to smelt it for the endoflames. Because, hey, why not, right? Oh yeah, so this... I think we discussed this previously. This randomly turned into an advanced ejector upgrade when this was already an ejector upgrade. So I don't normally cheat, but this is one of the few times where I'm going to. We're going to change that for the pulling upgrade that it used to be. This was just a plain pulling upgrade, and it was pulling from that side. That should be back to how it used to work. I have no idea what happened there. I think what it was actually... I do have an idea of what happened there. Watch this. Pulling upgrade. Advanced pulling upgrade. They shifted the metadata on this, I bet. That's what I think happened. In order for the item to stay there, but be a different type, they would have had to have changed the metadata lists, and that would make sense, although it's not really ideal. So we want a few of the mana things. So let's make a band of mana, which requires a mana tablet. I should be able to do that as well. And then we're going to want a band of aura eventually. I don't know if I can do this. This requires quite a bit of mana. We'll just see if we can do it. I only have one ender pearl left. Gosh, we should definitely consider that farm that I was talking about, that mob farm. Definitely probably should do that sooner or later. But there's a lot of stuff that I have that I can do. And just for a heads up, because I like to be open with you guys, currently, as of the time of recording this, I'm recording this on Sunday the 4th of December. And as things stand right now, I have 3 final exams. 2 of them I'm exempt from. Or rather, not exempt from necessarily, but 2 of them I don't have to take. One I'm exempt and one just doesn't have one, because it was the class that I had to write a 10-page paper on a topic in computing instead. So that was fun, but I don't have that. I do have 2. I have 2 this week and 1 next week. So that leaves me a good amount of time to record videos, hopefully, as long as I, don't slack off on the exams and also don't slack off on the videos. I have to keep a balance because I'm in college and this is pretty important stuff, of course. So, that being said, just bear this in mind. I'm going to do everything that I can to keep up with the videos this week. I don't think there's going to be a problem. Where I do foresee a problem is in the future. When we get closer to holidays, I have 2 exams this week, 1 exam next week. The weekend, not this coming weekend, but next weekend, I will be going to visit my mom, and I will be away from any computer that is capable of recording. I'll only have my Ultrabook with me. Believe me, it can barely play on my server with Optifine. It cannot record by any means, and it's only got a 256 gig SSD anyway, so where would I store it? So I won't be recording. Not going to be an option. What I hope to do instead is record enough of a backlog that I can keep a 1 video a day, or a video every other day, or I might have to spread it out a little bit and do 1 every 3 days. But hopefully I would have enough videos to keep you guys entertained through the Christmas break, because I'll be back to a recording computer on the 26th, but I can't imagine that I'll want to be immediately recording the moment that I step in the door, especially considering it'll be past Christmas, so I might have tons of cool goodies. Who knows? So, just things to consider. I'm warning you now. Basically, I don't know for sure. I may not. Oh, hey, they got rid of the sound. That's interesting. I don't disagree, though. Just warning you now, though, I don't know if I'll be able to keep up or not. So, now that I have a band of aura, is this going to work? I'm not certain. I really should just get a mob farm or something set up at some point, but I don't particularly have the time to do that right in this episode because I want to do bauble stuff this episode. There's 2, I think, more baubles. Maybe just 1, but there's definitely more baubles that I want to make. Now the question is, am I generating enough mana passively to keep this third eye running? Yes, I am. So there we go. This is what the third eye does. Not really a huge deal. It's not one of those, oh my goodness, that changes the whole game. But it puts the spectral effect on any of the mobs which are near you. Oh, and it seems as though that made my mana run out. So it actually uses it pretty quickly, surprisingly. I don't know that I'll be able to keep that on for too long because it seems to be using quite a good amount of mana. Not a ton, but, I mean, more than I can afford currently. Okay, well, that was it. I'm not going to do another mining thing like I did earlier because that was rude. I didn't really mean to. I am going to grab more uranium because it never hurts to have uranium. Yeah, so you can see the spectral effect only lasts as long as the ring itself. I feel guilty because I never did the mineshaft thing here like I said I was going to, but at the same time, I've already got instant sorting and I didn't find myself down there too much. So, yeah. Sorry, but also don't think anyone's going to be, like, too terribly disappointed, I hope. So, one thing, though, that is on my mind eventually is to go and do the Sojourner's Sash. Sojourner's Sash. I think it's misspelled. I think it's just S-O-J-O-U-R. I don't think there's a second U. So, we need a Rune of Air and a Rune of Earth. I think I already have the Rune of Earth. Yep, so all I need is a Rune of Air and some Mana Steel. So, Rune of Air is... Do I have any carpet? Nope, just gonna make some from string, I guess. I should get some mob farms put up too, like animal farms. That would be probably a very wise idea. I need a piece of gunpowder. I know that much. And let's see, Rune of Air is... Oh yeah, and a piece of string. There we go. Let's just run up and get these. Oops, I almost forgot the living rock. Run up here and get these real quick. Good, so that's actually out. Fine by me. Let me turn these, and now what? Oh, forgot to turn you into a. Oops! Come on, work with me, friend. Thank you. And then you two. Boom. There we go. I knew I was forgetting something. So I definitely think the vines are looking pretty good here. What I'm gonna do real quick, Sorry, I just had a friend ask me a pretty serious question. So what I'm gonna do, I guess I should just, well, crud. Did I install flat colored blocks? I did. Good. Well, that's fine. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to grab a pair of shears, because what I want to do, I have a plan. I really like how the length on some of these is already at pretty much the point that I'm going to want. So here's my plan. Watch this. Oh. I hope that doesn't, like, too negatively affect this. I can't imagine. So, fun fact, pixel by pixel, I can just kind of stop these guys by doing something like this. Really easy. Could I have just made my own vines and not even have to worry about them growing? Yes. Did I want to do that? Nope, don't feel like breaking the game. Chisels and Bits is fantastic and is not really known for lagging your game out, but I feel like this would have been a little bit on the overkill side. Just saying. Like, I don't know how I feel necessarily about going quite that far out. That looks a little weird. I should put it there instead. And so, by doing this, this is going to prevent the vines from spreading downwards any further. And hopefully it'll look just fine. And by doing it this way, I used to use, before Chisels and Bits was ever a thing, I actually used to use tripwire to do this, because from a distance you can't even see it. And it would always work really, really well for me then. And so I'm hoping that this should work literally identically. I can't imagine it won't. Leaves are leaves. This is still a block. And all vines check for is if there's a block beneath it. It doesn't care what block, if it's replaceable or not. If there's a block there, any kind of block, it ain't going down. It's going to stop right where it's at. So I think this should work. And I'm going to let a few of these grow down a little further. But for the most part, these are all pretty much right where I want them. And from all the way over here, you sure as heck can't tell what's going on. I'm pretty happy with that, though. Oh, hey, look. This is working out. I really like these. Interesting. So I'm going to actually take this off. My third eye is cool, and I really like it, but I'm going to take it off. And give me just a second to trash these bits, because I don't generally keep bits around. They're too cheap to be stingy with. And at this point, this is ready. And what I'm going to do now is change you to deposit into my band of mana, and we're going to just drain this pool just a little, not too much. I don't want to completely empty it. But yeah, so with our gear here, the armor that we're wearing from IC2, we don't actually get any speed benefits yet. If I did an quantum suit armor, I could, but I've actually already done that on my server, and it's fun, but I want to take a different route. I always like doing different stuff, pretty much anytime I can. And so, for here, I'd like to do just the Sojourner Sash and Nano Armor for now, but I actually want to go very, very, very far into Botania. So, Sojourner Sash will help us with running and jumping. We can run a little faster, we can jump a little higher, and we can also, we basically get step assist, which is very useful. And I think we can also fly quite a bit faster. Yep. So that's pretty nice. Alright, so. Oh. Y'all are mad. So, there's a few other things that we're going to have up here. And you've got to consider, basically there's a lot of sort of planning. Oh, I forgot to do coal. Or charcoal, rather, but that's fine. I want to get all of this from out of my system first, and then I'll come over here and grab these. I'm going to put this bauble away in my backpack for now. I don't really think I'm going to need that for too many occasions, but I do definitely like having it. I'm quite happy with this setup. Cool. So yeah, we can jump up 2 blocks tall now. And yeah, pretty cool stuff. So there's a few other baubles that I want to take a look at, but I think I'm going to need some more mana. So I'm just going to sit here and let the mana generate, and I'll be back in a few minutes once we maybe can do something new. So, actually, I was just sitting around and I realized it would probably be a good time, now of all times, to look into doing that animal farm that I had brought up and briefly touched on, and then almost immediately stepped away from the idea. There's actually a few really good reasons why I should do this, one of them being experience, yay! And the other one being just the fact that I could use the wool and I could use the leather, and it just overall wouldn't be a bad idea. So I'm kind of plotting everything out here because I like to keep a naturalish feel, sort of. I mean, you can tell by the path and by, I mean, like if you take a look at the map, it's just kind of random and does whatever, but I also like to fill in areas kind of wherever it seems empty. And one of the places that it feels a little bit empty is over here behind the house. So like over here feels a little bit empty. So what I'm thinking as far as the path goes is to have the path, you see how it kind of hugs the border of the tree farm? I was thinking about having it continue to hug and then wrap over here, enter the Botania tree, and then also come up here and then fork so that there would be a farm here and then a farm here. So I think I'm going to do that. I think that's going to be a really decent little plan, and I'm going to need to do a little bit of terraforming to actually execute it, but it'll work out in the end, I should suppose. So let me just grab some dirt. We have plenty of it after all. And what I also want to do is grab, do I have any fences? I have lots of fences. Why do I have so many fences? I have no idea why I have so many darn fences. Also, oh, I just remembered two things. I'm sorry. I know this is completely off topic, but fishing net. How do I make this? I want one of these. And I've been thinking about it, and it's something that I just keep on forgetting. And so I should probably just make one real quick. I've got shears somewhere. And let's see. Sorry, I know I just said one thing and now I'm doing another. I want to do both. It's important to me. Things are important. Saplings, slime balls, and lime. So I need lime, dye, 1, 2, 3. I need 4 of those. I need 4 slime balls and sapling. Do I have 4 vanilla oak sapling? I do. Sweet. And then we'll just come out here and grab, well, I don't want to grab those per se. We'll just do 4 of these. This is one of the nice things about Biomes of Plenty, or not having Biomes of Plenty, rather. There's actually a reason why I don't use it anymore. It's because it's nice to be able to step outside and hit tall grass and know that you're hitting the right kind of tall grass. It really used to annoy the crud out of me having to worry, like, is this the right kind of tall grass? No, this is Biomes of Plenty tall grass. This won't work. And then, of course, the Horn of the Wild stopped working with it, and that really got on my nerves. So, I have my reasons. A lot of people kind of are just like, why don't you have it? And I'm just like, not really my deal, thanks. It used to be. I used to really like it. I've actually done a few 110 worlds with it, or had a 110 world with it, but yeah, like the last Forge Serve had it, but I've since become less enamored by it, I guess you could say. So we're going to just make 4 fishing nets. Fishing nets are really cool, and so that's why I'm just making these real quick, because these can help us out on a few things while we're busy doing fun other stuff. So fishing net. So I don't know if these will place in the water or on top of it. Let's see. Elpec, how did you do? You failed. Just kidding. This is fine. I'll just have to be a little smart about it. So we'll just put these here, 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 and here. So if I put chests above these, I forgot they require chests. That's fine. If I put chests above them, though, they will, on occasion, fetch me some fishing goods. This should work just fine like this, I should suppose. Now, I don't know what the random chance is. I've never actually used these myself. That looked weird. But, you know, just something to do while we're busy and doing other stuff, you know? Something to make our time, like, most valuably used. So, I usually, when I do when I do animal farms, I usually like to do 11 by 11 on the inside, so 13 on the outside. It just gives you plenty of space. But I would like to use the farming stations from, maybe it's Breeder. No, what is it called? Actual Editions add something for breeding, and I don't remember. No, it's not the farmer. It is... I will find it. It has a cow on it, and you're probably pointing at it right now and saying, it's right there. Well, it should be right here, and my eyes do not see it. Where are you? Not compost. Automatic feeder. There we go. Feeder. And the automatic feeder has a range, and I don't remember what the range is. Let me see. Place it in the middle of an animal pen. Just wait. Automatically feed enough animals. Greenpeace approves. Well, it doesn't say what the range is. I thought the range was pretty small. So just to be safe, I'm not going to make this a huge farm, unlike I normally do. So I will, or not, you know, huge. So I will probably just do something like this. Try to make this look a little natural still. Let me see. Yeah, because I think if we do something about that size, not quite that size, a little bigger, but still, I think we can make this work. So this was 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That'll make it 9 by 9 on the inside, and that should work out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Put a door down like always. And I'm trying to think if I want to do this design that I saw one time. I might. What? Okay. I think I might do this design. I kind of like this idea. So the purpose of this is sort of, I don't know if I want that centered or not. The purpose of this is to basically give you like a double door in case like the animals decide to jump out. You know what? That's not necessary. I've got double jump height. I can already jump over the fence. Not even necessary. So yeah, that'll work. And we'll just go ahead and knock all these out because they get annoying. And we will put some of this stuff away. I don't think I need quite that many fences. In fact, I'm not even sure why I have so many fences to begin with. What did I make so many fences for, you guys? Oh yeah, for the old processing system before I moved it underground. Duh, forgot about that. I'm really glad I moved that though. I've got to admit, I'm much happier ever since I got that moved underground. So we'll do the other one here. We'll put the door here and do 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And so that'll be 9 blocks, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we'll do a corner. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we'll do that. Counting is hard. Yes, I hear you. The more you bath, the more likely I am to use you in my mob farm. Just kidding. I'm going to use you in my mob farm regardless. Or rather, I should probably say like animal pen. It's not a mob farm, because they aren't mobs. Well, they are mobs, but they're passive mobs. They aren't like what you think of generally. And if I do something like this... this reminds me of how I had to rewrite some of the vtweaks code from, or not rewrite the vtweaks code. I had to, well I did, but I didn't have to rewrite it for the reason you may think. It was more of a matter of I was using something that was changed in the new Forge version and for 1.11, because I'm actually working on alpha builds for that right now, and it definitely works now, my new code, but it's not as easy as it used to be. My old code used to just literally refer to the torch item stack and try to right-click on it for you. Because it's for the torch helper, the thing that makes it so that when you right-click with a tool, it'll place down a torch for you. No one really knows what all vtweaks does, but vtweaks does lots of really cool things. It gets overlooked like a lot of mods. So I had to rewrite the handler for that because Forge is basically not going to patch something that I didn't ask for it to be patched, so it's not like I'm mad about it or anything, but I'm a little concerned about like the program design here because I don't think it's well planned out, but it's also like a vanilla Minecraft bug, so I can't really be like, come on Forge, do it, because it's not really on their part to do. But essentially, I used to be able to just kind of use existing code, and now I have to hard code my own solution for it, and it involved checking to see if I could replace grass blocks like this was part of it, and I just remembered how big of a nightmare that was for just a little while I was trying to figure out why is this tool disappearing when I right click. The torch gets placed, but nothing happens with my torch item stack. I don't lose a torch. And then suddenly my pickaxe disappears. That's not the intended function. Yeah, oh boy. Well, I'm glad I got it fixed. That's all that matters. So I should have a lasso. I don't remember. We're going to find out because science... Whoops. That's not where I wanted you to go. I don't remember if a cursed lasso is limited only to hostile mobs, or if I can use it on passive, even though it really is made for hostile. Do you work? Sheep is not a hostile mob. That's kind of dumb. I'm just gonna admit that that's a little bit silly. Oh, I needed that. Thank you. And so now I've got to make a few more golden lassos, which isn't a big deal. They're just gold nuggets and string, so we'll just grab... we'll make 4 more of these. Why not? And we'll want to use our experience wisely, so let's run over here to the enchanters, and let me see. It was 4 experience per 8. Okay. I really wish the JEI integration worked with this crafting table. Inventory Tweaks works with it, but I think that's because it's literally wrapping the vanilla crafting table. And so I think Inventory Tweaks catches any event that that's the case. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure. A lot of people don't support Inventory Tweaks, and it makes me laugh, because from a coding perspective, it's actually really easy to do. I don't really understand why they don't do it. So I'm going to go and just abduct a whole lot of animals, and yeah, we'll do that on camera, and then I'll probably call it an episode at that point. Next episode we'll do a few more things with mana, because mana stuff is fun. And you can bet your buns that I will probably automate the process of feeding the cows, because that's also an important thing to do. Come here, you. You're mine now, thanks. I think he just recently spawned, by the way. I don't remember having so many cows around here, but now I've got like 3. So that's great. Did I forget to drop off a sheep? I did. Oh well. Any other cows who wish to volunteer as tribute? Alright, well I'll grab a sheep. Golden lassos are pretty cool for this. So we have 3 cows and 2 sheeps. If I can find some more cows, that would be great. I do like a good cow farm. And a good cow farm starts with good cows. Or rather, cows that are forcibly captured and then used for breeding. Nonetheless, I mean, where do you draw the line between a good cow and a bad cow? Kind of like where do you draw the line in your ethics behind your autonomous car? That may or may not have been what my entire paper was about. Let me just say this, kids. If you're not in college yet, just wait. It's going to get far more stressful. Especially if you went to a crappy public school like I did and then decided to actually use your knowledge and use your ability to learn to go to a good college. Yeah, good colleges make you do work. So I'm excited though, because I think I'm going to go for my master's degree in Illinois, so that'll be really cool. It'll be a completely new place, because I'm in Tennessee, I'm from Tennessee, I'm only about an hour and a half away from where I used to live as a kid, so it's like nice to potentially go somewhere completely different, even though there's a few things here that drive me nuts that are different, like the fact that my favorite grocery store doesn't exist here. But that's all irrelevant stuff that you probably don't care about, and cows are relevant. So let me get some wheat. We will breed these guys up, and we'll call it an episode. What do you think? So put all these golden lassos away. We can finally re-equip that, and let's grab some wheat. Something else that has come to my attention is I am no longer farming wheat, or rather not automatically, and I probably should do that. But the problem, the question, the concern is how. I'd like to just have a nice little pillar here, but I don't think I can make that work. I don't know. We'll have to figure something out. I have a few proposals, but they're not cheap. And the aesthetic is going to cost way more resources than I currently have. So between episodes, I'm probably going to spend a lot of time farming for Endermen, or Ender Pearls, rather. Since Ender Lily seeds take so incredibly long to grow now. Fun fact about Ender Lily seeds, if you didn't know, they no longer grow on random growth ticks. They literally grow on time passing. So you cannot make them take less time. The only way you can do it is by constantly switching the time from day to night, day to night to day to night, which is obviously cheating. Unless you're using blood magic, in which case, don't be silly. Alright, well, I think that's going to call it for this episode. I'm sorry it was a little bit ranty, but hopefully you guys enjoyed it nonetheless. Next episode, more mana stuff. Probably going to get the path built in between episodes, and we'll do probably some other stuff. I don't really know. Might look into making the solar version of this helmet. I'm only slightly hesitant because I can't actually upgrade to the quantum suit helmet from that point, but I can always add a Mind Tweaker recipe that's literally the quantum suit recipe except with this helmet. Alright guys, we'll end it with a nap. See you in the next episode.